What is going, fellas? And welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. We are still in charge of BFC Daugavpils in Latvia, and it's not going well. Everything is fine. We're just struggling quite a lot. Our Director of Football really did leave us in the lurch with the signings he made. The team's not performing all that well. I haven't really figured out who my best team is, which is always delightful when you're a quarter of the way through the season. But if you do enjoy this episode, or you do going to enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. YouTube loves when you do those things, and I quite enjoy when those things are done as well. So, let's get into the video. Right, fellas, as I said, a quarter of the way through the season after this game finishes against Lipaja. We're sitting 7th. We are behind Lipaja, but they have played 2 games more. As you can see, -8. We are getting absolutely shit on in every game we're playing. It is, no, not every game. We've been fine. So the last game you saw was against Jelgava, where we did not play well at all. We then went and played recently promoted Grubaniash, and we won 4-0. They did have a player sent off after 16 minutes, but as you can see, we were already 2 up at that stage. Divine scoring a cheeky little hat-trick for himself. Hasn't done an awful lot since, but still, that is not what's important. We managed to get a win, which was fantastic. Then we played Tecum's and got a draw, which I think we got a draw against them last year when we played them as well. They're pretty good. Not so far this year, but they're still pretty good. That is also the game that our only left back got injured, which obviously is not ideal because he's our only left back. Then we got beaten by RFS, who are one of the best teams in the league. So we did quite well. Like, I know they took the lead and then doubled it quite quickly. We played fairly well. I kind of went a bit more like gung ho because I was like, well, against these 2 teams, we played more attacking. Went into this game a little more cautious, and it didn't really work for us. So I went a bit more attacking, and it really didn't go well for us. Then we beat Meta 4-2. Kirkils got himself sent off, which wasn't ideal. But still, 4 goals. Quite happy with that. And then we played Riga, and we took the lead, which I think just annoyed Riga because they started playing quite well. And then Akpuje got himself sent off just after half time, which was a bit silly. Really he shouldn't have been sent off. It was a clinical foul, so it's kind of makes sense, but at the same time, really could have done without that happening. Then against, at the time and still top of the league, Valmira, it was a close game for the first hour, and then they just kind of took over and destroyed us. But as you can see, Udris has been quite good. I think Udris picked up an injury so he picked up an injury for, I think it was 3 games he was out. Yeah, then he came back in and he's actually been playing really quite well, even though we've been conceding quite a number of goals. And then in the most recent game against Spartaks, it was a very, very boring game. There was only about 6 highlights. May is going to be quite the month. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're basically playing a quarter of the season in May, which is delightful. Yeah. The league is quite short when you think about it. The board are quite happy with us because we haven't, we're not in the relegation zone. We are struggling to repair the club's financial damage. To be fair, one of our players went from a youth contract, or a couple of our players went from youth contracts to non-contracts. So that's sorted the wage budget to a degree, but we are still almost $250,000 in debt, which is not ideal. But they're fairly happy with everything else. They're not happy with the lack of support from the club or the players. The club atmosphere has decreased quite a bit because we're on such a bad run of form. And 3 quite important players don't really like me. Atisu also wants to leave the club, so he wants to move to a bigger club. So I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. Makes sense. So I asked him how much he wanted his transfer value to be, and it's 7 to 65k. So I was like, it'll be somewhere in the middle, like maybe 35,000. You know, I would have been happy with 35. No, 7. 7. And he would not move from 7. So, if someone comes in for him, by all means. Who else got transfer listed? It's one of the right backs, I think. Olake. Yeah, Olake is also after being put on the transfer list because he doesn't want to be at the club anymore. We have made a slight tactical tweak for this game. We did play with a DM in the last game. It really didn't work. The DM they were just pumping the ball over the defend or like everybody. So we're going to a 4-2-3-1, which is a formation I've not played for quite a while. We don't really have an attacking midfielder, which is obviously important when you're trying to play with an attacking midfielder. So Mukwele is going to be playing there. He's a central midfielder or a striker. He can play in attacking midfield. It's fine. We're going to find out how he gets on. So for today's game, we are starting with Udris in goal, who is, as I said, playing really quite well. Ajeti is going to play at right back with Verschinen, who is playing decently well in the last 5 games. Akbuje and Kukurz, who is our really only other left back option because of the fact that Illins is still injured. Diagne and Atisu in central midfield. Atisu is just going to keep playing until the transfer window opens and he leaves. Aji, Mukwele, Regza and Ona start as our front 4. I was considering trying strikerless, and then I remembered we don't have attacking midfielders, so none of my strikers want to be attacking midfielders. But this is a game. If we win this, because we have 2 games in hand, we'll be equal on points. I think we'd be in a decent situation or decent position. Not 100% sure if we're going to be able to do anything in this because, as I said, the players aren't overly happy. I did have a team meeting with them a while back, and the players seemed happy with it, but nothing really came from it. So, yeah, it's not ideal. As you can see, Tecum's only have 3 points because, well, they're currently drawing. One of those 2 draws they've gotten so far was against us, and there is absolutely no highlights in this game so far. We're after getting ourselves a free kick in a pretty decent area. Tisu. Oh, Bismarck at Tisu. This is the first goal I've seen us score in a while. So, I'm not going to complain. Would this put us ahead of Lipaja? It won't. No, it would just put us equal on points with them. But as I said, we have 2 games in hand. I have made some tactical tweaks to set pieces. Throws were one of them. My corners, I've set up corners just a little bit differently. I haven't actually seen any of the corners since I made that change, but Ajeti couldn't find Aji, and Lepaja make us pay. Not ideal. This is fine. Verschinen finds Akbuje, Krush, Atisu, Regza goes for a bit of a jog down the wing. He is quite old and slow. Gaddis Udris just decided he didn't want the ball in our half anymore, kicked it at their goalkeeper, which is, would have been fine if he'd scored. I did try and get the goalkeeper to play kind of longer passes to kind of just cut out everyone else. He's not very precise with his passing. He also hasn't got the best of kicks, and we have gotten away with that one. That was quite the opportunity that the striker had. As you can see, Udris again not having the best of kicks there, but Ona's true. Ona. Okay, we're in halftime. 1-1. I'm going to thrash my arms and say it's not good enough. As you can see from how the players, or like the ratings, like Ajeti 6.5, Diagne 6.5, William 6.4, Regza 6.4. Probably should make some changes. I don't want you to be a fullback. Right, who is... Okay, so Makule not having the best time. So we're just going to go to a 4-2-4. We see what happens. I put you as... Actually, you can be the advance forward. Let Ona be the pressing forward. That is what we're going to do for now. Just going to see if that will get something going. No. Took a bit of encouragement at the lads. They seem to be somewhat encouraged. This is the second game that I have had Udris as a goalkeeper, just a standard goalkeeper. And it's the second game he's not been fantastic. So I think Ona's headed just over. I do think that potentially Udris needs to be a sweeper keeper for him to get involved. Mukwele, just very easily dispossessed. Does win it back though. Ajedi. No, Aji. I was going to take Mukwele off, but he's done it for me. He has had himself sent off. God damn it. Okay, Ona. Aji's going to come off. Ona can be an inverted winger on that side. Aji can come off for Divine, who is going to be an advanced forward. Riggs has not played all that well. We don't have anybody who can play on the... Actually, Ona can play on the left. As... You better... What's your crossing? 8. 10 finishing. Okay, you're going to be an inside forward. Riggs can come off for absolutely nobody, because we don't have anybody who can play. As a winger. Huh. Kirilish, I'll just bring him back to play just in midfield. Diagne is also not playing very well, so I'm going to bring on Belovs, who wants to be a Mazzella. Atisu can play pretty much any position I want him to. So, advanced playmaker on support. Belovs can play as the Mazzella. Let's see what he does, because I think this is his debut. We're just going to go positive. Bit of encouragement. We started the game fairly well. Not much has happened since. I'm going to change Udris to be a sweeper keeper on defend, just because, like I said, he's played better when he's played in that position before. Actually, pop you here. Put you there. Ona can go back up front. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. You want to be the Mazzella. Aji is going to be coming off. So I'm going to put Atisu. Actually, Atisu can be on this side as a Carolero, because I don't use Caroleros very often. A Jedi. I'm going to bring on Ivanovs. Who... No, we're not. We're not going to... Actually. Fjordrovs can come on and be a box-to-box midfielder. And we still have one substitution left. He's unsure. Unsure. It's called football. Please. His first touch in a highlight, and that was Kukurish. Didn't really have the best of crosses. But it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to lose this game. Thankfully, Kirilish is there to head it away. Kirilish has been far less influential compared to what I would have hoped for, and we have absolutely just been shafted. We still have 13 minutes left. We have an opportunity. We are going to just... Okay. We've had 10 shots, only 3 on target. We haven't even deserved to score the 1 goal we've gotten. This is not ideal. Ona can come off because he is just not playing very well at all. Kurush can be... Just go attack. Just everyone attack. Just be a Mazzella on attack. You can be a Mazzella on attack. And what is the most attacking thing I can do in central midfield, or like the centre of central midfield? Just central midfielder on attack. Why not? Atisu can actually do that, so that's what we're going to do there. Slightly more direct. Just go all the directness. Run at them. Just be more expressive. Pump the ball over the top, please, goalkeeper, please. Please. I'm going to set my 16-year-old goalkeeper to just punt it as hard as he can. We're pressing all the buttons, everything. Make a difference. You couldn't care less. A lot of our players don't care. Like, I mean, really, really don't care. If we could just score one goal, I'm going to berate them. I haven't berated them yet because they don't really like me. I'm trying my best to not be angry at them all the time. As you can imagine, it's not really working, and we have lost yet again. Oh. Atisu is not happy. I'm disappointed in you getting sent off. Atisu, you did well. Couldn't care less. Regza, terrible performance. I think I've gotten to the point now where I'm just like, do you know what? Fuck them. I'm just going to start shouting at all of them. You're all fucking useless. Useless bastards. None of you can even play. None of them can play football. This is very frustrating. The fact we conceded just before halftime really irritates me. Yeah, Belov's did make his debut. Mukwele. Why do I keep saying his name wrong? Mukwele. Not ideal. Club atmosphere has increased, which is interesting. Yeah, these two not overly happy with life at the minute. Still only hated by 3 players, which is fine. I'm obviously not very fussed. I think for the next episode, how we getting on? The board are happy-ish. We're on a B-. I think if our form keeps going the way it's going, then maybe we could be in trouble. I think we might come back for Meta, because we played well against them the last time we met them. And like their second goal was only because we kind of took our foot off, and we just didn't really play all that well. Or do we come back for Curzon is probably too close. It's only 3 games away. But then Meta's only 4. I think we come back for Riga or RFS Riga or Valmiera. We come back for one of those 3 games, maybe 2, depending on how absolutely horrendous we're doing. But yeah, Latvia has been hard so far. I think it is a lot to do with the fact that our team is not great, but thankfully there's 2 teams that are much worse than we are. But if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. My chair has sunk during the episode and I didn't realise. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. Make sure to come back and wallow in my sadness of us getting beaten week in, week out. It is hard. It is hard to watch. It is hard to watch. Speaking of, Curzon and Ashton have sacked their manager. So thank you very much for watching, fellas, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.